in the newspapers and other ways. Jawaharlal Nehru made a significant statement in the Assembly on 13th December 1946, which was as follows: "The future of India that we have envisaged is not confined to any group or section or province or other, but it comprises all the 400 million people of India. There is a duty cast upon us, and that is to bear the absentees in mind, to remember always that we are here not to function for one party or one group, but always to think of India as a whole and always to think of the welfare of the 400 million that comprise India. It seems to me the time has come when we should, so far as we are capable of it, raise above our original selves and party disputes and think of the great problem before us in the widest and most tolerant and most effective manner, so that whatever we may produce should be worthy of India as a whole, and should be such that the world should recognize that we have functioned as we should have functioned in this high adventure." A drafting committee was set up under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and its task was to prepare the final draft, taking in account all viewpoints. Various important aspects of the Constitution were discussed in great depth, and the Assembly gave broad directions on them. The Constitution was finally adopted by CA on 26th November 1949, and it came into force on 26th January 1950. Reading Constituent Assembly debates. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar presented the draft of the Constitution before the CA on 1948. Read the extracts from his speech. These are recorded in the proceedings of CA of India. That is, certain parts of the speech have been shortened and are marked with. Dr. Ambedkar begins with the process by which the draft was prepared. As the Assembly was not elected by universal suffrage, observe the steps taken to ensure maximum participation of members and also general public. Thursday, the 4th November 1948, Draft Constitution. The Honorable Dr. B.R. Ambedkar set about untouchability to Mr. President. The drafting committee was in effect charging with the duty of preparing a constitution in accordance with a decision of the Constituent Assembly on the reports made by the various committees appointed by it, such as the Union Powers Committee, the Union Constitution Committee, the Provincial Constitution Committee, and the Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights, Minorities, Tribal Areas, etc. The Constituent Assembly had also directed that in certain matters the provisions contained in the Government India Act in 1935, the draft constitution is a formidable document. It contains 315 articles and 8 schedules. It must be admitted that the constitution of no country could be found to be so bulky as the draft constitution. The draft constitution has been before public for 8 months. During this long time, friends, critics, and advisors have had more than sufficient time to express their reactions to the provisions contained in it. Now, we will see how our constitution draws from the experiences of other nations with regard to political organization. In this presentation, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chairperson, highlights the process of borrowing from other constitutions. Parliamentary system. A student of constitutional law, if a copy of the Constitution is placed in his hands, is sure to ask two questions. Firstly, what is the form of government that is envisaged in the Constitution? And secondly, what is the form of the Constitution? It will begin with the first of the two questions. In the draft Constitution, there is placed at the head of the Indian Union a functionary who is called the President of the Union. The title of this functionary remains one of the President of the United States. But beyond identify of names, there is nothing in common between the form of government prevalent in America and the form of government proposed under the draft Constitution. The American form of government is called the presidential system of government. The draft Constitution proposes is the parliamentary system. The two are fundamentally different. Under the presidential system of America, the president is the chief head of the executive. The administration is vested in him. Under the draft Constitution, the president occupies the same position as the king under the English Constitution. He is the head of the state, but not of the executive. He represents the nation, but does not rule the nation. He is the symbol of the nation. His place in the administration is that of a ceremonial device of a seal by which the nation's decisions are made known. Under the American Constitution, the President has under him secretaries in charge of different departments. In like manner, the President of the Indian Union will have under him ministries in charge of different departments of administration. Here, again, there is a fundamental difference between the two. The